start coming at me, wait, hold on. I want to clarify. I've always had nothing but respect for you. That's number one. Me and my brother Ali, out of the whole House of Consciousness, we've had discussions about, our years. I've been rocking with Sa since, I think my first video with Sa was 2008, maybe 2009. And you say cool, certain brothers we always respected. So when we start having a discussion, you start coming at me. I'm like, yo, hold on, bro. I ain't never disrespect you.
What?
No,
I started coming at you.
You started with the name calling, brother.
How did I call you a name?
I can't remember what it was, but I said, look, because me and my bro talked about it. I said, look, outside of wanting to debate Jabari's views on Islam, on how he viewed Islam and Tamahu, right? Because you believe that the Tamahu is white people, and I don't believe that based off of the studies and research of Dana Marniche. I've never really had no issues with you. I always said I like the brother Jabari. He's reasonable. I like listening to reasonable people, and I like to hear their breakdowns, especially during debates, because I love to debate. So when we start getting into this political thing, you start saying some things. I'm like, yo, hold on, man. What? So I can't remember. I don't remember. This is during.
No.
You start.
He's right though.
You start saying some stuff.
He's wrong.
Nah, you don't remember Jabari.
Everybody go back and watch the video.
Jabari, you started taking shots at him because I thought you probably thought he was saying something to you.
Let's be clear.
Disrespectful.
I only took a shot at him after he took a shot at me.
And what was the shot?
sa.neter is trying to say, yes, you took a shot. I'm not saying I didn't take a shot. I sat here on the couch and I called him Black MAGA when I know he's not Black MAGA. That was a shot. I know what a shot is. But let's be really clear, this was after Lord Abba had already done those things. And when I said that he was the smartest person at the homeless shelter, that was a shot. And I made that shot after he called me a simp.
That was funny.
So let's be clear that I have taken shots, but I never attack someone, particularly personally, unless they attack me.
Well, I don't remember it that way.
Okay, so now let's get back to the Donald Trump. Are you still riding with Donald Trump today?
Before you even say that, notice he wanted to talk about the future of black politics. The reason why he wanted to talk about the future of black politics is because he made lots of claims and did lots of stuff in 2023, 2024. And now he's seeing how it's going, and now he wants to talk about the future.
That's not.
Let's hold him accountable for some of the stuff he said.
Let's hold me accountable.
Okay.
Everything that I do is about the future of black politics. That's why our platform is called Be the Power. Don't just fight the power, become the power. So then you can have the power to make a change. Like I said earlier, like I said to you during that discussion with sa.neter, I believe I said this, my goal was to get the Democrats up out the paint. I want to go back to a point you made, and then I'm gonna come back to
what you mean by that.
I am. On my Be the Power platform, we started live streaming in 2020. The smoke was always equal with Republicans and Democrats. If you don't follow my platform, then you wouldn't know that. But we went in on the Republicans over the past 5 years. When election time comes and you start to see this continuous rules being played on your people, like Kamala Harris is a black woman, and so that you should just pledge blind fealty to this black woman and go out there and elect her, that's for us that are civically aware. We understand that that's not how our politics need to work anymore. So we're going to call anybody out that's trying to take advantage of our people. Point blank, period. I'm gonna give examples. Stacey Abrams.
And I'm gonna come in. So
okay, all right, that's cool. Stacey Abrams was running in I can't remember, it was a couple years ago. She was going against Brian Kemp. She went on a 85 South podcast, and the brother asked her straight up, why is it every time that you start talking about doing things specifically for black people, y'all always have to include in these other groups? It can't just be black people alone. Stacey Abrams' response was, well, because black people are 12% of the population. So she tried to reduce us. The fact of the matter is, the American freedmen is the largest ethnic group in the country, give or take any year when you have German Americans. When you start breaking us down by ancestry in the United States of America, and I can pull it up for you, you'll see that we are actually either number 1 or number 2 in any given year, with German Americans being number 1 or I'll pull it up for you in a few minutes, with German Americans being number 1 or number 2. So that, like, our job is to debunk these myths. Then what she did was
what she said about us being 12% of population.
So that you
is
can't,
a myth?
Well, wait. So that's why you can't do anything for us, while you're doing everything for everybody else who are and represent a smaller percentage of the U.S. populace than we do. That is a myth, right? So our job is to push back on that. So then once she started to see that it was brothers like myself online saying that that's not going to fly, then she came out with a plan for black men, right? She came out with this plan for black men. We went right to her website and we dissected the plan. Nothing in there was for black men specifically. The only one thing that hinted at black men was referencing young boys being suspended the most at school. Everything was for every other Georgian. So it was a faux plan. Kamala Harris tried to do the same exact thing. I mean, if you say it that way, I'm going to say it the way I say it.
No, her name is Kamala. Kamala. Because we've been calling her Kamala for years.
That's not her name.
Hold on. It was cool, right? Because it sounded hood. It sounded ghetto. Never once did anybody get corrected for saying Kamala or Kamala.
Oh, did he say it right there? That's brother.
He did a Jedi mind trick.
Black MAGA does.
He did a Jedi.
It's not MAGA.
Wait,
MAGA
let him talk.
But wait. Let me land with this point. Never once, were we corrected for saying Kamala.
Corrected from who?
Wait a minute. Let me finish. But by anybody. What? And she accepted that. Because we went back and we looked at all the videos. So you don't watch my platform, so you don't know. We went back and looked at the videos where people were calling her Kamala Harris.
Okay.
There was no correction until this last election. What I challenge anybody to do is I want you to pull up Brother Jabari talking about Kamala, whatever, before this last election and see if he pronounces it the way that he pronounces it.
But that's only because that's what they thought, how to pronounce the name.
Wait.
Let Jabari go.
My point is, why didn't they correct us then,
son? I couldn't find any videos of Brother Jabari
Alexa.
talking.
Yeah, Alexa just come out talking.
Yes, she does.
That's funny.
The thing that's really strange is he's making it sound like, because he was saying it on his small platform, that she was hearing what he said and that she should correct him. I mean, let's be clear. Kamala Harris, most of her political life was spent in California, on the other side of the country, from where Lord Abba's sphere of influence mostly resides. So for him to say that no one corrected him, this is a ludicrous point. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And, to be honest, the reality is that as someone who has a name that people often mispronounce, when people do it in public, I don't always correct them. I don't. But we began to see that the right wing, the right side of our political discourse, Republicans, were intentionally mispronouncing her name as a means of disrespect. And so that's the reason why I'm taking issue with this brother who knows how to pronounce her name, by the way. He knows.
I just learned.
These are the kinds of things. The last election ended in November of 2024, but he's still on January 4th, 2025 mispronounced. This is what he
26.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
Listen to what he's saying. So I want you to be really clear that he's doing that as a means of disregard. And the other thing I have to hold this brother accountable for is that I have seen him disregard black women. I was on a platform, I have to say this. Well, the last time he and I shared a platform, I saw him come on and tell a black woman that is part of the House of Consciousness community that he would put a dog collar around her and walk her around the house. That's what he said. Look at his face. You remember saying it. That's what he said.
That's not.
And I did not have an opportunity to hold him accountable for that kind of disrespect. And so I have been, one of the reasons why I said I was angry with him.
I'm gonna respond to that.
One of the reasons why I said I was angry with him is because it seems that these days he trains much of his critique on black women. And I think that Lord Abba has become infected by the manosphere. I believe that I don't believe he's black MAGA, but I do believe he's MAGA adjacent. A lot of the people who we respect in our community, Lord Abba is one of them. A lot of people who we respect in our community who wanted to vote for Trump could realize that they couldn't clearly say it that obviously, that clearly in our community. So they did something a little peculiar. They just trained all their fire on the left side of the political spectrum, where 80 to 90% of black people reside.